Well, hello there, paper crafters. Thank you for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. I was recently asked by a viewer for me to show how I get such vivid images when I do either my coffee staining or avocado staining of my paper. This is my avocado paper, and this is some coffee staining paper. I like these little images here because you're able to journal, but still have a little bit of a decorative place. This is also one that I really like. Now, I will reinforce this in a journal with washi tape. This one is cool because, again, you can journal up here and then put a tuck or a pocket here so that you still have that writing behind it. This one came out really nice. I did like that one. And it is basically plain on the back, except for I see a little bit of the image coming through. So this would be your journaling spot. And then you could put a pocket or decorate that there in your journal. And then here's one with a floral image. Now, when I go to store my coffee stained paper, I'm going to show you what I do, because coffee staining does leave sometimes a little bit of an unpleasant smell. And so what I do is I have this little pocket, plastic pocket, and I get some of these sachets from the dollar store, and I store my coffee paper. I've got one here toward the back also, and every once in a while I just rotate these in my paper and then close it down, and pretty soon your paper will smell like these instead of coffee. So I think that's a nice little tip. You could also maybe put I don't know, maybe essential oil wouldn't be good because then that would leave an oily stain. But I think this is a great way to store your coffee paper. And then what I do is after it's completely dry and I have it in here, I will lay a couple of really heavy books on it so that it flattens the paper. Now, to make my coffee mixture, here I have about 4 cups of hot water that I put in the microwave, but it's not boiling, but it is hot because I want my coffee to dissolve. Now, this is just some cheapo coffee that I bought at our local Walmart. I don't drink coffee, so this is the only reason why I would have coffee in my house, is for this coffee staining. And I will take, I'll start with like 2 and a dash of coffee. This is instant coffee, and I'll just take a look at it, stir it up, and let that dissolve. And then when I'm done, if I don't use all of this, I pour it into a mason jar and put it in my refrigerator. Here's some that was left over, and then it will keep for a fairly long time. Next, I take a 13 by 9 pan, or a big enough pan for you to hold the coffee mixture in, and I just pour it into that. It looks like this is dissolved nicely, and that's a nice color there. And then to cool this off a little bit, I'm just going to add what was left over of this mixture here. Then I grab what I want to use to coffee stain. I'm gonna set that aside. And I'm just, because I recently did a lot, I'm only gonna grab a few things. I do need some coffee stain envelopes, so I pulled 5 of those out. Now you wanna make sure that you open up the flap, because if you coffee stain it with it down, this glue will glue to here and your envelope will not be open. So I have that. And then I have some of my better copy paper. This is 32-pound copy paper. I get it off of Amazon. And it's a little bit thicker than the cheapo stuff that I get at Costco, but you need a little bit more sturdy copy paper, because if it's the real thin stuff and you put it in your coffee, it sometimes rips when it's wet. So I have that. And then I have a few pieces of plain tracing paper that I love when it's done, because it's all nice and crinkly. So those are the papers I'm going to coffee stain today. Now, there's several things that you can use to make your imprint. This was just a bath mat that I got at the Dollar Tree store. It did not leave a very good impression, so I didn't like using that. And then this was also a bath mat that I bought at Walmart. I thought that was going to work, but it didn't make a very nice impression either. So, oh well, you live and learn. This was good. This was placemat that I got at Walmart, and I did have to cut it down a little bit so it will fit into my cookie sheet. So that's a good one. This was also a different bath mat, and so I won't use that. This was another placemat that I got at Walmart, and I like that. You could also use some bubble wrap. I haven't really tried that, but you could use that. But what I have found, the stuff that really makes the best impressions are my stencils. Now, I just recently got these stencils from Stampin' Up. There's a set of 4 of them, and I want to start gathering my supplies for my Christmas daily journals. So this one is kind of candy cane, and this is snowflake. So I'm going to do a few of those papers. These I bought either at Michael's. They're the large ones, 12 by 12. There's a floral. I like that. This is a Tim Holtz stencil. Another floral. These are really cool. I like these to put at the edge of paper so that it doesn't cover the entire page, but it does give you a little bit of a decorative edge on your journaling pages. So these are fantastic. Love them. Here's another Stampin' Up stencil. Can't remember where I got that one, but just these little ones, they're nice. That's another Stampin' Up one. I can tell because the high quality of the stencil. These were in a pack when I bought some of these other ones, and I like them again to have across my coffee stained journaling pages, because it gives a little bit of a decorative edge, but it does not cover up the entire page. Here's that script one. Ooh, where did I buy this? I'm sorry, I can't remember. These are 2 stencils I bought at Artist Artifact here in the United States. They're very, again, nice high quality stencils. I liked those, so I will be buying those again, this brand. from that company. And then here's one. This is pretty. This is also from Artist Artifact. And I believe I got this one at Michael's. So those are my stencils that I use. Let's see. Oh, so what I did is you're going to take a cookie sheet, and the stencils that didn't work out real well, I just laid them in here, because you're going to want something on the bottom of your cookie sheet, because what I have found is occasionally the paper will stick to the cookie sheet and tear. So I have my silicone mat there, but then I also put this down because sometimes it leaves a little bit of an impression in a decorative area. So that's good. So let's try first with just our plain coffee paper. And over here to my left, you can't see it, but here's my coffee mixture. And what I do is I just take a piece of paper, and what I'm going to do is you'll see in real time how long I leave it in, which is not very long at all. So I'm sorry you can't see that, but I just dip it in and pull it right out. And then lay it on the cookie sheet. And then decide, now see that's got a little bit of a wrinkle there. I don't know if it's from the, yeah, it was from this. Then what I do is I take whatever impression that I want on there, my stencil, and let's just, I like this Tree of Life one. Hang on, two stencils got caught up together. I like that one, so I just lay it in over the top of that coffee dyed paper. And then I take a few little drips with my hand of the coffee and lay it over the top. And you want to make sure it's good contact. Now, I used to coffee dye my paper in the oven. However, I didn't want these to melt. So now I stick them out side to dry. And that's no problem in Arizona. It has cooled down a little bit now. I think yesterday was 90 degrees, much better than 110. Here's one of the other little mats that I just lay on so that maybe it would give us some kind of decorative area on the other side. So anyway, I do leave it outside. Again, I would be nervous about having my stencils in the oven. But if you're just going to do plain coffee stained paper, having it like this, with the exception of this plastic here, you can do it in the oven. The other one I really liked was this floral here, these roses. So I'm going to bring that one up toward the top because I like this rose down here. So again, I just lay it on there, press it down so that it gives me a nice contact. And then I add a little bit of the coffee, extra coffee. It will take it a little bit longer to dry, but I like the look of that. So now what I'm going to do is turn the camera off so that I can take these outside, and I'll show you where I keep them. Oh, sorry for the jiggling, but I thought I would show you where I usually put them. So this is at the front of my house, and I've got these two little, oh, what are they called? Whatever. Here we go again, Hewitt. Anyway, I set them here, and I let them dry. Now again, in the summertime, when it is 110 degrees, it doesn't take very long for these to dry. But of course, today is a little cloudy, very unusual for us. So I may have to move them inside, and it may take a little bit longer to dry, because look, there's a few little sprinkles. Yippee, we love having some rain here in Arizona. But this is normally where I would put them, is out in the sun. So we'll let these dry, and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so now my papers have dried, and let's do a reveal. So I'm gonna pull up the stencil, and look at how beautiful that came out. Now it still feels a little bit wet because it's very cloudy here today, but I will just set this off to the side and let it dry. Let's look at the other one now. Okay, this one is the one that to me looks like the tree of life. Look at how beautiful that is. Let's pull that off. Oh, didn't that come out gorgeous? Look at that. And again, it's still just a tiny bit wet, but that's okay. I'm gonna just put it in the oven for just ever so small amount of time and let that finish drying up. So let's do a couple of the envelopes now. These are your standard 5x7 envelopes, and I'm just gonna dip them into the coffee. And then just lay them on here. And again, you want your flap to be open. So I think I'm going to be able to do 2 of them at once on this cookie sheet. And then let's see what we want to put over them. I think those small little images that I have, here we go. Here's one with a rose, and let's just put that in the corner there. And actually, let's go ahead and put the other one up there toward the top. And then I have this one, which is kind of a scroll. Let's see, where's the other part of it? Here we go. And then again, I just take a little bit more coffee. And maybe that's why it takes a while to dry, because I do like a little bit more coffee stained in those areas there. And then I just press them down. And then let's do some of that tissue paper or tracing paper. So it's this beautiful paper here. Again, just dip it into the solution of your coffee. And I bet this will, I bet that's going to imprint that on there. If I press that down, I bet that's going to do that right there and there. You know what? I'm going to just try that like that. I haven't done the tissue paper before, or the tracing paper, tracing paper before with this mat. So I'm going to try that and see how it does, and I'll be right back with you guys. So let's do the reveal on the envelopes. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. And look at this, kind of came through a little bit. Oh, those are gorgeous. Those came out great. Oh, look, fantastic. I love those. And let's see the other one too. the parchment. Oh, why can't I say that? It's not parchment, it's tracing paper. And look, remember that's the one I just put on the, like the rubber mat for the bathroom, and it did give me a little bit of an impression. So that's cool. All right, let's see. So let's just do one more, and I'll just show you the reveal at the end. Okay, let's do the reveal of the last ones I did. Oh yeah, that's nice, because when the envelope folds over, and I'll probably actually put it into a journal, sew it into a signature, and then, oh my gosh, that turned out fantastic. Love that, love that. Fantastic. Okay, let's look at the other one I did. Oops, sorry for the big noise. Now this is the one where it is the placemat from Walmart. Ooh, beautiful. Love that. So you can see any stencils that you have, any, oh, that's so pretty. Any, you know, textures. This bath mat did work a little bit in the crisscross. Here you can see it kind of goes, so it did kind of change that, but that came out really nice and dark. So I'm gonna do some more and then we'll do another review. Okay, let's do the next two reveals. Now, as you can see, this paper is getting a little dark around the edge here. If you feel like it's a little bit too dark for you, then just add more water to your coffee. And do you see what I said about it sticking? Yeah, it's sticking to the cookie sheet itself. So just be very gentle. This is that tracing paper. Let's just pull that off of there. Okay. That's still a little wet there. That's interesting that that's still wet. That must have had a lot of the coffee on there. And then this one here. Again, the envelopes, I really liked the way those turned out. Yes. And then when that folds over, that's nice. So anyway, that's how I coffee stain my papers. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back with another video next Monday. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.